Hi, I'm Steven. I'm going to teach you how to make better espresso at home. I'm going to give you 5 secrets that really shouldn't be secrets, but over my 24-year professional coffee career as a barista, roaster, owner, I found that a lot of people haven't really thought of these. And I'm going to demonstrate how to pull this from espresso, steam some milk, make a nice cappuccino, and at the end, I'm going to give you a bonus tip, so stick around to find out what that is. Let's make some coffee. Secret number 1, water. A lot of times I found that people just use water out of their tap, which can be okay, especially if you have tested it and you know kind of what's going on. But a lot of times, like at my house, I have softened water. Softened water does not make for good espresso. It doesn't make it taste good, doesn't make it flow good, doesn't bring out the sweetness or the mineral content that you really want. What I recommend, 2 things. 1, use a Brita filter on your tap water. That'll help immensely, depending where you are. For instance, in the largest city, close to where I live, Grand Rapids, if you just use a Brita filter, that water's pretty good, makes great coffee. But at my actual house, I have well water. It was way too hard, now it's softened, and it just doesn't make good coffee. So if that's your case, or that's your scenario, or you don't know, then just go buy some spring water. You'll get a lot further with just spring water. Don't use RO water, don't use purified drinking water. Spring water is gonna give you the best, just basic mineral content, make the coffee taste as good as it can without really getting into the nitty-gritty of getting like distilled or RO and rebuilding it with some fancy mineral content, which you can do if you want to. I'm just trying to teach you how to do it really simply, and water is one of those keys. I mean, 99% of all coffee is water. Start with spring water. This is from our local grocery store. You can get it from wherever you get your groceries. Secret number 2, coffee. Obviously, coffee is what you're drinking. It's gonna make a huge difference in how it tastes by what you get. So if you get something that's at the grocery store that's pretty old, you may not have a great experience with it. In my case today, I'm using a coffee that we roasted at my shop. This is Deep Current. It's an espresso blend designed to pair well with milk. It's a little bit on the darker side, but not super dark. So it's just a very versatile, well-rounded blend. You're gonna wanna use it pretty fresh. Depends on the roaster, where you get it from. In our case, we recommend pretty ubiquitously at least a week off of roast, up to a month off of roast is kind of our sweet spot for this blend, but your mileage may vary with your roaster or where you're getting your coffee from. Secret number 3, use a scale. So the reason why a scale is important is you need to measure what's going on in order to associate that with a taste that you like. So in my shop, we do 19 grams of coffee in and 36 grams of coffee out because we've dialed it into a taste that we like. So a good rule of thumb for you at home starting is to do like a 1-to-2 ratio. So if that means 10 grams of coffee in, you do 20 grams of brewed espresso out. If you do 20 grams of espresso in, do 40 grams of brewed espresso out. It's basically a place to start, and then you can kind of dial it in from there. But without a scale, you're not gonna know what's going on, and how are you gonna track what you liked and what you didn't like? So use a scale. Before secret number 4, something you can do that helps out the channel as we grow this to reach more people like you, that teach them about espresso or coffee at home. Like, comment, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything, just takes a second of your time, and really helps us find those people that are looking for more information about coffee like this. Thank you so much. Secret number 4, use a timer. Key is to keep track of what you're doing so that when you find something that tastes really good, you're able to repeat it. So you find a good espresso recipe, you liked it, now you want to do that again. Without a timer, you're gonna struggle with keeping those parameters the same. Secret number 5, use the right size pitcher for your machine. A lot of times folks will use too much milk or too big of a steaming pitcher, and this machine just doesn't have enough power to turn those bigger bubbles into small, velvety microfoam bubbles. So you're gonna wanna use something smaller, just like this. This is almost too big for this machine. 1/3 to 2/3 full is about how full you want to do it in order to make good latte art. I'm going to show you in the demonstration just how to do that. Stay tuned. Step 1 is I'm weighing out the portafilter, zeroing it out on the scale. So that way you know how much coffee you're actually putting into the portafilter basket. So I have 15 grams in here. Pull it as a shot, see how it does. and then we'll adjust from there. I'll talk you through what I'm doing. You kind of want to level out as best you can. You can get one of those little distribution tools that helps you do this. I don't have one. It's not 100% necessary. It is helpful, and they're cheap. So tamp it. Kind of the goal with tamping is to make the top of this bed as flat and as smooth as possible, not have any spots that are denser than other spots. Water tends to go to the path of least resistance. And if you have a spot that's really not as dense, it's gonna flow faster through there, called channeling. Doesn't make the coffee taste optimal. So you wanna zero out your scale, put your brewing vessel on it, start your timer when you start the espresso machine, and then your timing, how long it takes to get to your desired output weight. So we're going for 30 grams. That's 30 grams there, 20 seconds, way too fast. So what we're gonna do is make this grind a lot more fine. That way we can get up to around 30 seconds for a 20 gram shot, maybe 26, 28 seconds, as it's a little bit smaller of a shot. Let's dial this in a little bit more, fine up the grind. All right, going for 16 grams. So 16 grams in, going for 32 grams out in 26, 28 seconds. So about 34 seconds for 32 grams out. That's within the range that I'm happy with. I tend to like this coffee towards the longer side of an extraction, but you'll have to find out what works best for the coffee that you're using, for the setup that you're using. It's great. It's got a nice, like robust dark chocolate, some subtle like berry, maybe blackberry, dark cherry sort of fruit tones to it. It's different than what we serve at our shop. This Breville creates a little more pressure. It's harder to regulate that pressure just at 9 bars. They tend to build up a little higher. There are ways with certain machines to change that check valve so that it doesn't go any higher. If you want to get more nerdy with the Breville specifically, Lance Hendrick has a little bit more nerdy video about this that I would recommend watching. You can find that right here. Next, I'm going to show you real quick how to steam milk on this Breville machine. Pour a little bit of latte art. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to go a little more in depth into any of those sort of things, latte art, milk steaming, anything like that. So make sure you don't fill this pitcher too full. We're filling this about this full. No matter what size your pitcher, you only want it between the 1/3 to 2/3 full. So after injecting some air to make kind of those bigger bubbles, now we're creating kind of that swirling vortex to break those bigger bubbles up into smaller bubbles. Those smaller bubbles are what hold their form when you pour latte art. Instead of it just falling apart right away, you'll be able to see that design on top. I stop the temperature once it gets a little bit too hot to touch for more than a couple seconds. If there's any like larger bubbles left, give it a little tap to break those up. Kind of that milky, almost like wet paint type consistency. What you're gonna do is start off with the stream of milk high above the espresso, drop it in so the crema raises up as you pour, and then when you want the design to form, you bring your pitcher down close, let that milk foam collect on top. When you want to cut back through, you're gonna come up like a UFO with that stream of milk, narrow it out, and then come through. If your milk stream is too heavy, it's going to drag the whole design down. Before I taste this, bonus tip is grinder. That's the secret to really great espresso at home or in a shop. General rule of thumb, whatever you spend on your espresso machine, you spend an equal amount on your espresso grinder. I might choose to actually spend even more on my grinder, as that grind consistency and quality makes such a huge difference in the taste of the espresso, and not only that, but the ease and joy of actually making espresso. So that's bonus secret number 6. Let's see how this tastes. That's good. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know if any of these tips helped you, or if you ran into problems. Definitely Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see, what you'd like us to spend a little more time on in depth, and thanks for watching. It's only coffee.